In the gallery, I could see some senators here, both on the government and opposition side, and independent senators. We are here to witness the second segment of the debate. Well, the Prime Minister, as I said earlier, articulated some of the economic activities as expected to spur on much finance for the country. And as the debate continues, the Prime Minister will speak on some of the 8 priority areas that have been proposed by the St. Lucia Chamber community. So it's going to be we're looking at 2 days of debates, possibly leading into Friday. We don't know yet, with several MPs still to speak. So we will have to wait on the Speaker of the House for that cue. So we have there the Prime Minister. We can see the Honourable Central. Seated next to her is the Member of Parliament for Choiseul Saltibus. He also has Henry's Honourable Dominic Fady. The Member of Parliament for Grosselet is also here. So we have most of our MPs already seated, and of course awaiting the arrival of the Speaker for the official commencement of the second part of the broadcast. And as we speak, we take you to the House in just a bit. I see the Sergeant of Arms is making his way in with the mace, which signals the arrival of the Speaker.
Honourable members, when the House last rose, the question before it was that the Honourable House of Assembly do adopt the report of the Standing Finance Committee on the estimates of expenditure for the financial year 2017-2018 in the sum of $1,513,652,200 as a charge against the consolidated fund and other funds of the state of St. Lucia. Honourable Member for Beaufort North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Quickly before I start, Madam Speaker, I see we have 2 different times. I just want to be sure that you're following your time.
Honourable Member, we will follow this clock.
This clock, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I wish, first of all, to thank the Almighty God for giving me another opportunity to represent the people of Beaufort North and to also contribute to the development of my country. I wish to thank, Madam Speaker, if you will allow me, the constituents of Belleville, Grace, Pierrot, Montcayenne, Opicon, Vigier, Kako, and Savans. I wish, Madam Speaker, to do my best to represent the aspirations of the people of Beaufort North. And in this debate on the estimates, Madam Speaker, of revenue and expenditure, this gives me a wonderful opportunity to express how my people feel, and also an opportunity to explore the operations of this government, how they intend to continue to operate, and how, Madam Speaker, this government plans to take this country down a Prime Minister as a
Headmaster?
as a headmaster.
I have a choice one.
So, Madam Speaker, I wish to say that personally, I would prefer every day to have a headmaster than one who many consider to be slowly approaching dictatorship. I would prefer that, Madam Speaker.
Tyrant.
Secondly, Madam Speaker, the member for Choiseul spoke about ficus. And I just want to quickly say that he gave Ficus benjamina a very bad rap, because Ficus benjamina, that plant of which you speak, is a wonderful plant that can actually be grown in a pot in your living room. And although he spoke about ficus, I think he was talking about the benjamina, the benjamina variety. He spoke about it going into toilets and so on. But it's also used, as many people will know, to conserve soil and lots of other things. So it's really how you control it that speaks to the budget. Madam Speaker, I want to say that when I read the estimates of expenditure, revenue and expenditure, Madam Speaker, my own theme for this is that it is a den of contradictions and a deliberate attack on the branches of growth that this government found. It's a den of contradictions, Madam Speaker. The estimates is really a reflection of the ethos what he has started to cause his cabinet to believe in. It gives a glimpse of the Prime Minister's worldview, Madam Speaker, that the country is a business and that the people are shareholders, that he's the CEO and the cabinet is the board of directors. And so everything in this budget clearly speaks to that. This is a business, and I'm going to operate it as such. I will sell what I want as I see fit, not a man move. Madam Speaker, before I go into the figures, there is a whole history. And I hear people talk about their surprise, they're shocked when they see what the Prime Minister is doing. Why are they shocked, Madam Speaker? From 2007, this is the same gentleman who said that 14 expensive forensic lab. This same Prime Minister said this as Minister of Tourism in 2007 in this house. Why are people surprised? This same Prime Minister said that our patrimony is our credit rating. And why are people surprised? And when you look at the estimates, and I will go to the estimates, I will look at many of the heads and show you why I think, Madam Speaker, that this budget, the estimates is a den of contradictions, and the actions in there are deliberate to attack the shoots and roots and branches of growth. Let's look at the contradictions, Madam Speaker. Regardez pour qui ça me dit, c'est écouter yon bagay, dire yon bagay avec faire l'autre bagay obligé. They spoke about the last government making money on gas, fuel at the pump. But Madam Speaker, I have not seen the major decreases in gas prices. What I am seeing in there is the possibility of increased taxes in gas. Cooking gas, Madam Speaker, the 20-pound cylinder, nous ka servi pour bouillir manger en kay nou, is now $33, Madam Speaker. Taxes. What I see in this budget is not what the Prime Minister and his ministers spoke about. What I see in this budget, Madam Speaker, is a widening deficit, a den of contradictions. And how is it that this widening of the deficit can cause us to grow the economy as fast as they're saying? And a member a while ago spoke about confidence. And he said this budget will cause the investors to have confidence. But Madam Speaker, we were in government, and every single meeting, whether it was with the IMF or the World Bank or other experts, indicated that as long as you keep widening your deficit, it is difficult for people in the markets to have confidence in your instruments. So I don't understand this contradiction. So possibly the other side can explain that. How is it that a widening deficit can cause? How is it that a deficit moving from 62 million to over 200 million can cause people who are going to buy your instruments to want to buy more of your instruments? Explain that to me. I did theater, agriculture, and education, so maybe that's why this is there. Madam Speaker, the member for Castries Southeast, I am surprised that the member for Castries Southeast sits here smiling and laughing. But he's the same member who said before that you come to the House with figures with no policy, he doesn't even know what to say. That's why I tell you it's a den of contradictions. Because this member is here in this budget, we have no policy statement. We were criticized heavily for it, that we come with estimates without policy statements. He said at one time that he doesn't even know what to say in the budget. But you are here today, seated in this debate with no policy, and that's fine. A day of contradictions. Ou pas ça venir avec figure tout seul. Qui côté pour même bagay la ka fait. Ek ikawi ipaka di rien. So, Madam Speaker, I say to you, I can't understand it. A den of contradictions. How is it that employment programs like NICE, yo tiye NICE, yo di moun ki ka gade gwa moun of you Fort North, paske yo se leba, yo pa bon kosa yo tiye yo, ek lani lot moun, they said that the NICE program used borrowing. That's what they said. You cannot borrow money. They said that's not real employment. But these same people, they replace the individuals, Madam Speaker. Where are they getting the money to pay these current home health care workers? And I'm always happy when people get employment. But when you disguise it as a replacement, you say it's new employment, but you are replacing the workers. Ou faya se jan na isla, av you Fort North ek lot pays set lisi, paske ou di, yo se leba. Yo se leba, kosa nou faya yo. But Madam Speaker, a den of contradictions. When I peruse the estimates of revenue and expenditure, call it a training program on page 464, where you're spending over $4 million in salaries. It's called a training program in the office of the Prime Minister. NAPS. It is who benefits from those programs. That's important. The government came into office for Castries is indicated that there is more and more VAT coming. This is a government, Madam Speaker, with $12 million. $12 million to a festivals commission, but yet removes $700,000 from the National Trust. A den of contradictions. And when we speak about the National Trust, Madam Speaker, I'm concerned, I'm worried, but I'm not, my threshold for being upset is not as high as many people today. Because I'll make a statement that I made before. Without any fear of contradiction. That any time, any country elects a leader who does not understand the language, that leader can never understand the rudiments of the people's heritage and their culture. I make no fair, I say so, I've said so in the campaign, and I say so. I don't blame the people who are jumping up and saying that this Prime Minister took off money from the National Trust and he's selling lands and so on.